It worked.
Wow, we did it. That was
worked.
Surprisingly flawless. Wait, that was live? Good job. Yeah, we did it.
Yay.
Yeah, what you guys didn't see is after we did the outro, I like gave him a little bones because neither of us fucked up our stories.
PAX has a panel called "Is This the Year of VR?" poking at how every year is the year that VR is going to happen.
Yeah, the music did cut out like just a little bit before she finished.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Some call me Tim. Yes, that's a good point. I was wondering about that myself, actually.
The mouse?
The mouse. We can hear the mouse really clearly.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's surprising. I mean, it's on the way over here.
It's not quiet.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
Seems far away.
I wonder if we can get a quieter mouse.
We did have that for a while, if you remember, when we were doing CheckPoint green screen in the old place.
Yeah.
Because the mouse was like right there, and the only problem is like we got a mouse that didn't make a click, but it also you couldn't tell if you had clicked because it just went.
Yeah, I modded a mouse.
Yeah.
To make it not make noise, but there are mice that still click, just not loudly.
Maybe we have. Maybe we could just switch it for another mouse somewhere in the office.
Gapfiller's saying hi to Dandy Geek. I'm looking for Dandy Geek in chat.
Ben, look, Graham's wearing one of your blazers that you donated very, very generously to us from your closet collection. Because we don't know where the CheckPoint blazer is. It's somewhere.
I think we took it home.
Yeah, I think. Okay, I can hear that.
I was actually, my favorite thing is I was looking up because this was the thing when we were doing it on the
real quick. Hey, Panic Fox. Thank you. Cheers. Yes, Paul.
But I was doing on the when we were doing the thing on the green screen and the mouse clicking was a real problem. I was looking around for advice on like how to quiet down a mouse, and my favorite thing is the top result that I got was a post where a person's like, yeah, I've been playing Diablo, and my girlfriend is annoyed that the clicking is keeping her up. Is there any way to get a quieter mode?
Wow.
It's just the Diablo involving too much clicking.
I am, Ben. Yeah, it fits quite well. I'm just so barrel chested. I can't quite do it up. Well, I mean, I can do it up, but it's like, hello, I'm a perfectly comfortable human being. It doesn't. Working on that, but it's tough to lose rib width. Oh, exactly, man. Exactly. It doesn't matter for CheckPoint because you don't button it when you're sitting down, so it's all good. It's great.
All right. So I'm going to attempt to.
Paul's going to make the seamless transfer between there and here.
Somebody was saying
passing in front of the camera.
Somebody was saying when the camera zooms in on me for my shots, you can see the seams where the wallpaper meets. This isn't wallpaper.
No, this is wood.
We have plywood walls here because it's all very tech startup in here.
Mm-hmm.
No.
There's two reasons that a lot of the walls in this place are finished with plywood rather than drywall and paint, because this will all be in the loading time, but
I'm just gonna pick this
they
up.
like put up new walls for us and rearrange things in a way that we dictated, which was great. So the two reasons. One is just sort of aesthetics. It's it's kind of a cool look. It's popular in town, as Kathleen said, for tech startups. There's various buildings like when the buildings we did Desert Bus
8 and 9.
8 and to a greater extent 9 had a similar sort of plywood.
Yeah, I don't know if you would have
aesthetic.
seen.
It's finished plywood. Like it's got a veneer on it. It's very cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys would have seen that for the Desert Bus 8 venue, which was the Viatech building.
Yeah, because there wasn't any in that room.
In the conference room was all drywall, but the Desert Bus 9 building had a ton of plywood.
Are you going to make a click?
Yeah. Sorry about this.
The second reason is that we needed to move. If you recall, the Moonbase move was a bit of a surprise.
It was, I would say, unplanned, to be generous.
And
wait, what am I?
If we wanted any walls, then this is what we got. Because there is so much construction happening in Victoria right now.
There's like,
you literally can't get drywallers.
Yeah, there's like, I think like 4 high-rises under construction right now.
Yeah.
So that means that's basically every drywaller in town is busy.
Yeah.
So if you're a drywaller and want to move to Canada, apparently they're in high demand in Victoria?
Eunice, it's just, it's perfectly smooth. It just looks like that because there's like knots and stuff in the wood, but it's completely smooth.
Yeah. It's wood paneling for a new generation. I mean, essentially what it is just that, like, if we wanted walls and we wanted to have them up in, like, as quick a timeline, it was this or nothing. And
yeah,
I actually think they look kind of nice.
If you're a drywaller, come to Victoria, you will find work. And boy, will you be able to charge for it. So, there you go.
Drywaller, if you're not, English isn't your first language.
Gyprock?
Basically, you know, like what walls are made of is just like big sheets of like, it's like there's the studs and then the insulation and then there's like big sheets of like gyprock or drywall, or it's basically the stuff that wall is made out of, and it comes in these big sheets and you have to mount them to the studs and then you have to tape them together with special like product and
sheetrock, yeah.
Sheetrock, and then put in like a compound to cover up all.
Gypsum board.
Gypsum board.
I've never heard that. I mean, I've heard gyprock, so I assume
it's called
the same
drywall
thing.
here, but there's various, and then you got to sand that down and get that ready for painting. That is like, it doesn't sound like that much work, but it's a skill. That's a skill. It's not something that anybody can do. Drywall's really difficult to make look perfect.
Also, yeah, a contractor was doing this, and they're not just going to let us do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the big thing actually with drywall is like just like doing drywall that works isn't that hard. Like it's pretty easy. We have done it in previous moon bases.
Yeah.
Doing it so that there isn't like a bump where the join is and it actually like looks super good.
Yeah.
That's the part. That's the part that takes.
That's the tricky
making
part.
it functional isn't that hard. Making it good, that's a little trickier.
And like the thing is like, one, you can't really hire somebody in town to do this right now, and two, like if you just hired somebody off the street or we did it, it would be completely bumpy and wouldn't look good, and then it would be bad for like the green screen and all of it. So we got plywood walls.
Boop. So
yes, that is obviously there'll be lots more info about the various moon-based various studios and behind the scenes stuff in the future. But it's a brief overview anyway of a couple of things.
Exactly, under toast. Literally screwing drywall to a wall and like
even
measuring it and cutting it, that's not necessarily that difficult. But making the end result once painted look good it's a skill. And all the people in town with that skill are booked forever.
I mean, you know what? It's a skill. People deserve to be paid well for it because it's not something easy to do.
It was great. The contractor was like, "So I'm going to recommend you guys go with these plywood walls because you know they're really cool. They're cheaper, and it's literally the only thing that can happen." And I was
like how she bring up a lot of
good. You bring up a lot of good points.
The points get better and better as you go. Actually, it's like look good. Okay, sure, cheaper. Well, you know that's nice. You know.
I mean,
you will have walls. Oh.
As opposed to no walls. Excellent.
Fascinating. Okay. Anyway, stories. Yes, Crackdown 3. I was so pumped when they announced Crackdown 3 at E3 2014. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And it was supposed to come out in 2016, and it got delayed to this November, and then delayed again to the spring.
Because Crackdown 2 was
ages ago.
And it was also not good. Right, like
it wasn't great.
It was done by a different team, and it was kind of poopy.
Yeah.
But it sounded like they kind of knew what they were doing on Crackdown 3. Like, it sounded like they were going to do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm sure it'll be fine once it finally comes out. Or maybe it'll be a disjointed mess.
Yeah. Wait, the no wall option is more expensive than walls?
No. It was, it was like, It's cheaper to put up plywood walls than it is to put up drywall than to put up plaster or gyprock walls, because the plywood walls, you literally measure them, cut them, mount them, and put little stickers over the screws to hide the screw holes, because you can see, like, sort of behind Paul here, you can see these little, like, slightly lighter things, plywood stickers that hide the screws, so there's way less labor involved, so it's much cheaper. Right? It's not the materials, it's the time, which is always the cost of these things. And drywall, you put up the drywall and do the measure, and then you do the plaster, and then you have to sand it, then you have to prime it, then you have to paint it, right? This is, like, done. Which is why so many, like, tech incubators and startups around here have these kind of walls.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Oh my God, give up the wall chat. I'm sorry.
It's also, yeah. Obviously we do have some drywall walls for, like, the green screen wall and stuff.
Yeah.
That need to be painted. Anyway. So yeah, the Crackdown. I feel like Crackdown is one of those games, like, it reminds me a little bit of Red Faction, in that it's one of those games that, like, when it came out, had all sorts of cool, interesting, innovative stuff in it, that as time has gone on, has either been sort of adopted or done as well or better in other games. So maintaining their sort of identity, I think, is hard.
Yeah.
It's like an open world game where you jump around is not that unique anymore, right?
No.
Whereas when Crackdown 1 first came out, like, holy crap, you can go all these places.
You can jump so high.
And you have superpowers and all these things. Whereas that's been done quite a few times now. So it'd be interesting,
probably better, right?
It'd be interesting to see what they do to sort of try to keep it interesting.
Would you say, like, the go-around superpowers do everything would reach its peak in Saints Row 4?
Yeah. Big time.
Like, I feel like maybe Crackdown 3, they're working on this, and it's like, well, how do we make this even...
Foxmar just said Saints Row 4 was the best Crackdown game.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of Crackdown, yeah.
And I mean, like, the like, Prototype and Infamous games, too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, also, like, here's the other thing, is, like, I know when they were talking about this, this was, like, when they announced this game, it was definitely the peak of how do we ram multiplayer into everything. So there might be some complications with how to make this multiplayer format work.
Someone brought up a good point, is that it was also very early in the Xbox 360, and there wasn't anything really like it.
Right.
So, like, it has a big this must be a problem for them, because it has a big following, sort of like of people who have some amount of nostalgia for it, and it's known for being really good. Because what it did at the time, because it did it very well, but what it was doing was different. So now, can they? This is to your point, Paul. Can they make a game that captures any of that? Because it won't. If they just do a new Crackdown game with all the stuff that made the first one fun, it won't actually be that unique.
No.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but they can't just change it, or else it won't be Crackdown. So it's like, it's tough. I just like that the publisher was like, we shouldn't have announced it that early. That was a bad idea.
And just be like, yeah. So for what is ostensibly, you know, the third game in a series being made by, you know, a veteran studio, be like, it's harder to make a game than we thought it would be, is kind of an odd.
I don't even know that it's a veteran studio. It's being made by 3 different studios.
Oh,
right.
This
well,
because
each of the play modes is made by different.
It's pretty standard procedure at this point.
Like, yeah. I mean, often they're done by like for instance, you know, Ubisoft games are actually been done by many different studios. They're all just called Ubisoft.
Yeah. Reagent Games, Sumo Digital, and Cloudgine.
Are any of those the actual original developer?
No. The original developer was Trion Worlds.
They're gone now?
No, wait. No, it was... Who made the original Crackdown?
Alarm bells are ringing.
It's...
Okay,
multiple studios is legit not that weird. It's very common, and it often works out fine.
Yeah, because, well, I mean...
And this isn't like a studio tried to do it and then another studio is taking it over. This is just...
Real-Time Worlds, that was it, sorry.
This is just the different parts of it are being done by different teams. And from what I understand, the idea is that the different play, like multiplayer versus single player versus whatever.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
David Jones founded Real-Time Worlds. David Jones, formerly of DMA Design. DMA Design created Grand Theft Auto, and then got rebranded as Rockstar North. So a guy left Rockstar North, founded Real-Time Worlds, and they made Crackdown, and then APB, and then another thing, and then they went away forever.
They went to have a little lie down.
Yeah, Allness49 says multiple studios is not really a thing.
No.
But several studios and multiple delays, that's my concern, right? Multiple delays, several different studios trying to work together, maybe some communication issues.
Right, and the sequel was made by Ruffian, who made Crackdown 2 and Kinect Play Fit.
So, yeah.
So not a lot going on there.
Anyway, so, all right, next story. Crackdown 3, anyway. Cool. If and when it comes out, we'll see.
Yeah.
Cautiously
next.
optimistic.
Next up. Yeah, Star Citizen. Showing off some pretty cool...
More stuff in Star Citizen.
Super cool.
Yeah,
man.
it's very...
Like, it's
it's
neat.
not... It's, you know, I saw some people, like... I saw someone, like, reply being like, oh, this is not that impressive. Here's a SIGGRAPH demo from 8 years ago that does the same thing. And it's like...
Yeah.
Okay, that's not really a fair comparison.
No, because
Yeah.
the SIGGRAPH demo was like
But
not
it's...
going to a server, right? And then, you
Yeah,
know,
dude, it's going from tech demo to actually in the game
in an
is
MMO.
a big,
In
is
an
a big
MMO
thing,
is
yeah.
impressive to me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, whether it's something... I
Cool
mean,
technology.
there's that question of it's like, is this something people want? I don't know. We'll see.
I feel like what they're trying to do is turn Star Citizen into the game from like Ready Player One, whatever it's called. The game that everybody plays. The game that
don't
is
know.
everything.
Yeah.
I've not read Ready Player One.
In the story I was reading about it,
Thanks, Eli.
and some of the stuff I've seen was talking about how, like, having two people sort of stand there, be like looking at each other and talking, and their faces, you know, it does definitely, you know, go deep into that
Oasis.
uncanny valley. So they're gonna have to be a little careful about that. But it's a neat idea.
Can we get an events update? I don't know. Oh, you mean the events page? Oh, yeah. I'll get on James about that. James and Beej are currently taking like 2 cube vans worth of recycling and materials to the recycling / dump.
A large portion of the new moon base shouldn't be in the new moon base because it's actually cardboard.
Yeah. But when he gets back, I'll harangue him.
One of the other things that I saw though, using the same technology, so because it's tracking all the stuff on your face, right? And in addition to doing the facial animation stuff, the other thing it can do, which they demoed, was actual face tracking. So for like they were showing like first person like in a cockpit, like looking around.
And when you look around, your field of view moves with you, right?
Right.
So like if you're doing a roll, they're like, but if you keep your head, if you turn it with the roll, then like the horizon will stay level in the cockpit. And then if you're like, oh, I can't turn my head anymore, and you snap it back, then it goes boop. And it's,
that's cool. And it's cool because it's like no glasses, no little dots you have to put on your face, no whatever, right? This is just straight.
Apparently EverQuest 2 had a similar system.
Interesting.
Was it good? Not saying that Star Citizens will be good in practice. I'm just curious. Anyway, they're changing Mercy. Generally, I was sort of like making fun of it a little bit, but as is the custom of the show. But people actually seem to be generally in favor of the Mercy changes.
Yeah, I think
even people who play Mercy.
Well, I think a lot of people who play Mercy are like, all right, I have my ult up, so now I just have to wait to not get killed, so I can try to res as many people as possible. Could you all try to die in the same spot? That would be just. Like, that's not fun.
Everybody die on the point. Yeah, in the developer update, Jeff Kaplan was talking about how it's like, this is not a good gameplay scenario where it's the Mercy's like, I have ult, everybody die on the point, I'll go hide so I don't die, you know, and it's like, then everyone runs in, and then the Mercy's like, haha, and then reses, and it's like, it's just sort of, it's weird.
Is this the biggest, not balance change, but actual, like, character revamp?
I think so. No one's had their ultimate changed yet.
Yeah.
Like, tweaked, but not actually fully changed.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, obviously numbers have changed and stuff, but this is actually a whole new ability.
Yeah. My, I don't play, like, I don't play Overwatch. I don't watch Overwatch. It makes me kind of nauseous. Too much head bobbing and stuff. Like, quick movements and colors.
Symmetra did. That's true. I'm sorry. You're right.
That's true. But, like, yeah.
She got, like, an adjunct to her didn't it?
I think so.
Yeah,
Just
wasn't it that you can do now it's a teleporter or a shield generator?
Yeah, just because
I don't play Symmetra, but that's correct, right? That now you get to choose.
I think so, because her ult was kind of like, you know, situational.
She got an ult.
But yeah, I feel like this will make playing Mercy more exciting. And then when she's in her like winged Valkyrie attack mode, she gets unlimited ammo. She can heal two, like she can heal, like her healing beam is more than one person. So if you can get two people, you can get it.
And the cooldown on her res is 10 seconds rather than 30, but she only gets the ultimate for 20 seconds. So although they're going to play around, it's on the PTR, the public test realm. They're playing around with all the numbers.
Right.
So
I was thinking it's like already, you know, people do all sorts of crazy stuff to mess with Overwatch, you know, to get outside of Overwatch levels or mess with them and get into places you're not supposed to go, using various exploits of like jumping on top of, or like using like the like ice walls and stuff to try and push them down and stuff. Now they're actually just putting a character in who can fly. Like it seems like that's just going to be a recipe for lots of ridiculous going outside the level stuff.
Yeah, I think Joe Kim said like they're changing the character so she sort of plays more proactively than reactively, which is going to, I think, make it a lot more actually fun to play.
Yeah. HAL Laboratory has started HAL Egg to make mobile games.
That's all we know.
Which is fun.
It's like one tweet.
It'll be curious to see what direction they go with them, because I don't know if anyone's played a lot of Japanese mobile games.
They're
definitely in like the ones more in the gacha realm, but not a lot of them. But there's a really specific style to the way that they do their like main menus and their interfaces and stuff. That's just eye-bending. There's just so much stuff.
Well, Final Fantasy 15 mobile game insanity. I play Grand Blue Fantasy. Yeah. I was
watching the trailer, by the way, for Final Fantasy 15 Mobile Edition.
Yeah.
Right? And
well, it's like a city builder, first of all.
No. That's the Final Fantasy 15, whatever it's called, Cities or whatever. I'm talking about Final Fantasy 15 Mobile Edition.
What's this?
They announced it last week. It's not clear from the trailer that it's like episodic or whatever, because the trailer is literally, it would make you believe that it's actually just Final Fantasy 15, but everyone is chibi now. Because the trailer is just the start of the game. It's everyone in the car. They do battles. They go to the Hammerhead car shop. Like all the characters are there. There's the cooking. There's the photos. It's all the gameplay stuff from Final Fantasy 15, but everyone's chibi style. And I'm like, is this literally just a complete re-release of the game with chibi skins? And I looked it up, and it's like, no, it's actually
a different thing.
Well, it's not. Like, the thing is, it is still the entire plot of Final Fantasy 15 in another game where everyone is chibi characters. But it's rather than one grand sprawling game, it's in a series of, I think, 10 plot-based episodes. I need to look this up. But it's like, it's so weird.
What's the battle system like? It can't be like the same, like...
It looked like it was.
They've done that with...
oh, I hate battle systems like that on mobile. It's just like...
They've done that with one of the early Assassin's Creed games. Came out on mobile. And it was the same plot of the game, but it was like a side-scroller. Like it was a totally different actual gameplay. But what you did, the steps that you went through in the game were the same.
Yeah. Here's the art style, by the way.
They look like Final Fantasy VII characters.
They look. They remind me more of tactics characters, but yes. Yeah, this is an article from Engadget. I think what won me over was how faithful to the main game it seemed. I spent 10 minutes working my way through initial cutscenes, including time-skip exposition, roamed around the open world, and beat up a few monsters on the way.
There's also a Mirror's Edge game that was kind of like that.
And it has all the voice acting from the main game.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So it's like, I guess they're like, we have all this plot, and we have all this voice acting. Let's just make new...
Let's wring every dollar out of this investment we can.
Make a new, sort of a new game, but
it's really weird.
Oh yeah, I gotta play Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah. Yeah, the Half-Life 3 fanfic, or Half-Life Episode 3. Again, not Half-Life 3. This was the Valve This was the writer for the Half-Life episodes. This was basically what he considers was going to be the plot of Half-Life 3 Episode 3.
Or Half-Life 2 Episode 3.
Half-Life 2 Episode 3, sorry.
Although, it's been reported, like, when people are reporting on it, they basically are using that interchangeably.
Yeah.
Because, and to be fair, when it is purely theoretical, the difference doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. This game is never coming out. I think this is probably...
Oh, no, of course not.
This is why the writer was just like, well...
I watched a super depressing video of... it was like a 6-minute supercut of Gabe Newell responds to questions about Half-Life 3 for 10 years. And it starts in 2007 when he's like, we're going to do Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3. And then like later on he's like, so we did Half-Life 2, and then there was a bit of a lull before Episode 1, and there was an even bigger lull before Episode 2, and hopefully we'll be able to get Episode 3 out, And then he gets less and less specific about when Episode 3 is coming out, and then he just starts flatly refusing to answer questions.
Yeah. I mean, of course, they could say, no, it won't, if they wanted to end the thing. But, of course, they don't really want to end the thing.
Yeah. So, Chrono 2X has 2 PAX West tickets for Sunday that they would like to sell for face value. So if you want Sunday tickets, hit up Chrono 2X. So, yeah, what did we not talk about? Let's see here. There's a Secret of Mana remake coming out for PS4, Vita, and PC next year.
Yeah.
I just thought that was neat. I didn't think it was particularly, like, I can make fun of this in a CheckPoint story.
The cool thing about it, which folds on from... So one of the cool things about Secret of Mana, if for some reason you haven't played Secret of Mana, you should, is that it is, on the original Super Nintendo, if you had the multi-tap, it could be a 4-player game.
Yes, right.
You could, or no, maybe it was only 3-player. I don't know. It was a multiplayer game, but it didn't actually become multiplayer until, like, because you basically, as you picked up the characters, then other people could take them over. And so in this remake, apparently it's going to be
3-player. Okay.
It's going to 3-player. Then this remake, it's going to be you can play online with other people, which I think is a really awesome idea.
That's such a good idea. That's sweet.
So that could be super fun.
In other in some PUBG news, there was a big PUBG tournament at Gamescom.
Yeah, it actually went pretty well.
It went pretty well, but there were some...
I have some reservations.
There were some interesting interpretations of how to win because of, like, there was a point system. I read a little bit about this, but it was too complicated to explain the CheckPoint story. You got, like, a certain... Because it's like a last man standing thing. It's not, like, winning. So, like, one player basically was just, like... racked up a ton of points in the first few games, and then just sat back and played it safe. The
tournament structure was such that a match, so the solos match, was 3 games of Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
And the winner of the match would be based on points accrued during the games. And so a Korean player by the name of Evermore placed fairly well in the first game and won the second game. Meaning that based purely on points, to win the match of 3 games, all he had to do was survive to the top 10 of the 3rd game. So he just got a bunch of meds and hid
he actually hid in the blue.
Yeah.
So it just...
And just kept healing himself.
Yeah.
And made it to, like, I think 8th or 7th or whatever, and before he finally died.
Which got him enough points.
But he still won the match. And so, you know, it's like, that's not a problem. I don't, by the way, a lot of people are getting mad at him. No, I do not blame him at all.
That's clever play.
That's how you win. That's what that neatly illustrates is that a point-based system like that is not a good way to run a PUBG tournament because you end up with things like that. And also in the duos tournament, you end up with people just playing for position. You had like 7 different teams just hiding in the water. Just to try and, because if they got out of the water, they'd immediately be killed. Just trying to increase their, go for the highest placement they could just to try and rack up points. So this was a problem with the tournament structure.
Yeah. Well, from my impression also was that there was a bit of confusion because, there's confusion because the tournament structure, like the way points were allocated from in the tournament was different from the way points are actually allocated in the game of PUBG. And so like people would finish the game and it would show, and you know, you would have like your actual PUBG game score.
Yeah.
But that wasn't actually your real score.
Yeah.
That was your, and so it got kind of confusing. So
yeah,
the principle is sound. They just had to, you know, it's the first time they had to work out some stuff.
Generally speaking, it was fun to watch. There was some amazing gameplay, like really, really cool plays. And obviously there was a lot of complaints, quite rightly, with the camera work and the observer. The observer, it's a term going back to, I think, StarCraft mostly, is the term for the person who decides. It's basically the director of what you see on gameplay. They're the person who decides like what the view from the gameplay is going to be broadcasting. So a game like Battlegrounds is not without its challenges. In fact, there's some behind-the-scenes pictures of what the observers had, because they were much like we did actually at when we did our LAN day stream. They had OBS on all the computers sending the network stream, so the observers could look at absolutely anybody's screen, which was cool. So they could look at that, and they could also look at the literal in-game observer view, where you can see people through walls and you have all the usernames and everything. And so that was cool.
But I mean, the problem is that you've got, instead of 4 people, you have 100 people.
Yeah, so that's super challenging. And you just, in a game like this size, you just have to accept you're never going to see all the action, and that's okay. The problems, where the human error comes into play, is that whoever was running the observer was making 2 major issues. One, staying on things where nothing was happening for too long, or vacillating between staying for a very long time on a shot where nothing was happening, or rapidly cutting between stuff. And 2, ignoring the commentators. Because the commentators were doing a great job, but they would be saying things like, this is super interesting, there's this duo here, there's a duo outside, they don't even know that they're there, we're going to see this engagement, and someone like walked out the door, got hit with a bullet, and then we cut to the other side of the map. And the commentators were like, oh, okay, now we're gonna watch over here instead, And the one that was awful was watching someone just swim in the water, and the commentator literally was like, "Please, can we go somewhere else? This is boring. This is not what we want to see."
Wow.
And they stayed there for like 30 seconds with the commentators pleading on camera to cut to a different shot.
Yeah, I mean,
the commentators did a very good job, especially
Yeah.
Pansy, I believe was her name.
Yeah,
She was
killed it.
great.
It's possible that there may have been may have been some sort of situation where the director couldn't actually hear the commentators or something.
Yeah. The problem also is that you'd have because they were switching between the overall observer mode and someone's actual screen, is that when you're watching someone's actual screen, it's not clear who you're watching. When you're watching observer, it'll say now spectating this player. You can see their own team's life bars up in the corner, but in singles you don't even get that. And so sometimes it would switch between one shot and then an identical shot but with more information, but then switch back. It improved over the course of the weekend, I'll say that. which was nice. But
So
I just don't think that people are used to broadcasting like this many, like, because you have so many players in a PUBG tournament.
I mean, clearly, obviously, you know, next time they do it, I'm sure it'll be better. You know, it's just there's clearly a process of working out how to do it best.
Yeah, but you can watch all the replays on, I believe. So the VODs are on the PlayerUnknown Twitch channel, and I believe there's a YouTube playlist with all the things. Really good gameplay. Really worth checking out. And the prize, the trophies were pans, which was great.
Still think they should have given people chicken dinners.
I mean, the commentator people are like, shouldn't the commentators be running the show? I mean, to an extent, like if the commentators are like, wow, this is really interesting, something crazy is going to happen, the director needs to be responsive to that. But at the same time, the director has a lot more information than the commentators.
Yeah, the commentators can't be watching everything.
Yeah, it's not feasible.
No, because they have to talk about what's on screen, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if the director sees something crazy happening, like, he has to figure out, or they have to figure out, it's very sexist of me. The director of any gender has to figure out when a good time to go to that is, so you don't miss the action.
It would not be, I'm sure just talking and clicking around sounds easy, but it would be so hard to commentate and observe at the same time.
And it's one of those things that, you know, if you see like a, you know, usually in like, say, sport, you know, like normal sports that have been around for a long time where they have, you know, really experienced teams doing the stuff, there's a rapport, even if you don't necessarily hear it, but you can definitely see it. There's sort of a rapport between the director and the commentators.
Yeah.
That, you know, there's sort of, I guess, they sort of, at a certain point, you kind of know, you know, that they're on the same page in terms of what you want to change, what you want to see, when you want to cut and stuff. And that just comes with experience and time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's a game where you convince an AI to let you erase them.
Yeah.
The headline. An unsettling game.
Yeah.
Where you convince an AI to let you erase
Oh,
them.
I read about that. Yeah, it's basically you get a job as like a data technician. You have to erase some drives, but a bunch of these drives have AIs on them. So you boot them up into like a robot body, and they all like, it's all the same robot body, but the AIs like make the body act differently, and they sort of talk differently, and then you have to figure out if you can, you have to figure out who you kill, and then if you in like the article, it's like, I ended up saving 2 drives, and then I got fired.
It's basically like the one, you know, it's like one part of like Portal.
Yeah.
But that's the whole game.
Yeah.
Neat idea, I thought.
Name of the game? It is Localhost.
Yeah. Good name for a game, by the way.
And that was about, there was something else, but I can't remember what it was that I saw. And a bunch of...
PUBG is
Oh, yeah.
Battlegrounds now has the second all-time highest concurrent player count on Steam, passing Dota 2.
Yes. Well, I don't know if... yes. Yeah, it did. It just crested.
Yeah,
Pretty
LOL
impressive.
is still way ahead.
Yeah.
But...
and in Magic gaming news, a bunch of
Ixalan spoilers.
Came out.
Well, spoilers.
There was
Reveals.
There was a great article actually on Daily MTG, which I recommend you read, because if you recall, there was a whole sheet, like a full uncut sheet, that got leaked a while ago, and
you cannot read those.
They pretty transparently addressed that in this article about how it happened, what they did, and how they're rolling with that for the spoiler season going forward. It's a very interesting, as I say, transparent read from WotC, and I think you should check that out.
I have not read that one yet, but I did read the one that Matt Tabak put up about all of the new mechanics in Ixalan.
Raid is back.
Raid is back. The dinosaurs have something called Enrage, which basically, if they're dealt damage, they do a thing.
Continuing to make blocking bad.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely trying to... vehicles are back, which I'm actually kind of like, about, because I wasn't a huge fan of the vehicles in Kaladesh, but I think I'm in the minority here, so I'm prepared to accept that. Also, they changed the Planeswalker rules.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one. So now you can...
The Planeswalker uniqueness rule now no longer exists.
So you can have like
They're still legendary?
Yeah, so it's now just a legendary rule. So all planeswalkers going forward and all previously by errata are legendary planeswalker.
So it means that it's not based on their first name anymore.
Yeah, so because it used to be that you could not control a Jace Balerin and a Jace the Mind Sculptor, but now you can have one of each.
Yeah. So I mean, serious.
I mean, it kind
serious flavor fail, but you know,
Yeah.
sometimes you got to make concessions.
It's more rules consistent though with the different like how other legendary creatures work, right? And like you creatures sort of.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with planeswalkers were always totally.
There's
different,
also it's
yeah. Finally, 12 Chad is
12 Chad. Well, 4 Chad.
4. Well,
three,
now
3 Chad. 3 because you can't have 2. So they're still legendary, so you can't have 2 copies of, for example, Gideon of the Trials.
But you could
That
have.
doesn't work. But you can have a Gideon of the Trials and a Gideon Jura, or Gideon the other one.
You can have the Gideon triplets out. I feel like there's some ripe Friday nights commentary to be made here.
This is relevant because the new Jace splits. The new Jace has mitosis or meiosis. I always mess those up.
Meiosis, I think.
The point is, the new Jace ultimate is
you get another Jace.
No, you get
sacrifice. You sacrifice that Jace, and then you get 2 tokens that are copies of the Jace.
So you
It's
could.
very silly.
Yes, it's super weird.
He makes illusions of himself pretty neat. Mitosis? Darn.
It makes to be clear, because now the legendary rule is relevant. It makes copies that aren't legendary.
Are they supposed? Is the idea that they're illusions?
Oh, it doesn't sack him. Right. Sorry. It just makes 2 that are.
New Jace goes infinite with
Not
doubling
legendary.
season.
Oh my God, you're right. Because it would come into play with enough counters to do it again.
I feel like there's a lot of things to go infinite with doubling season, but
Yeah.
But like that's kind of cool. Like new Jace, cunning savvy shipwreck survivor or something like that.
Cunning Castaway.
Cunning castaway. So I think we got the idea that Jace's mind was a small pile of spaghetti bolognese, and it's slowly knitting itself back together.
He's got that one nip out.
Is it right titty or left titty?
It's his right, so it's not the Overwatch titty.
Oh, but I mean, now we can have a full titty. We match him up with.
Jace is a pirate? No, he's a castaway.
yeah.
He's a cunning castaway.
Bolognese.
Jace the body sculptor? Not really. He's more sort of wiry, to be honest.
I hope this version of Jace is charismatic. I wonder if Vraska's gonna recognize him, and he's not gonna recognize her.
Is the idea is that he's
Well, there was a dual deck that was Jace versus Vraska.
Is the idea that he's lost his memory?
That's the going consensus is that Bolas scrambled his mind like a fine plate of Gordon Ramsay scrambled eggs.
By going, poke.
Yeah.
Very good scrambled eggs recipe.
Yeah. I don't think Nicol Bolas put that much effort into it. He probably just went,
New mind, who dis?
New mind, who dis?
Yeah, I really want to see Vraska being like, you, and Jace being like, who the F are you? And then her being like, excellent. I mean, my old friend. She seems like the kind of person who'd be like, going to kill him, realizes he doesn't know who she is, and he's had his mind scrambled, and he's like, my old friend, Jace, we're like besties.
That would be good.
To be fair, knowing nothing about Vraska, I still wouldn't trust her. Like
You seem very pleasant, but you have snakes for hair.
Yeah, she doesn't project an image of extreme trustworthiness.
Yeah.
I feel like.
No, but she is like cunning. That's what I would do if I was her. If I found out one of my one of my toughest enemies had their memory wiped.
All right.
Oh wait, hold on.
What?
Let's talk about a little bit because a lot of people have been asking this. PAX. Who among us is going to PAX?
Oh, yes. So, in attendance at PAX from the crew will be myself, Kathleen, James, Beej, Heather, Ian, Corey, Cameron, Ben, Adam.
No Paul, no Alex.
Yeah.
Other than that, basically anybody who you want to talk to.
And we will have we'll put up a schedule for who's going to be where at the booth because obviously there's a lot of us. We're not all going to be there at the same time.
We're going to have a booth
Booth is not big enough.
a booth at Bandland, which is where it was 2 years ago, the much better location. Booth at Bandland, the very top floor, floor number 6, at the top of the really big ass escalator. We'll be there. We'll have new pins to sell. We'll have merch to sell. You can come by and say hi to us and hang out for a bit. Kathleen and I are going to be on the Jackbox at PAX Box panel at 4:30 on Friday. The Friday night, 8 p.m. is going to be the IRL premiere of the Desert Bus for Hope documentary. Ooh. We're going to come back to that in a moment. This is all about PAX still. Loading Ready Run panel, 3:30 on Saturday at the Sasquatch Theater. 9:30 that night is a late night dub fight, featuring a bunch of us as well as guests. Carly from Cards Against Humanity, who did wonderfully last year, and Alison Lurs from WotC is going to be on the panel as well.
Am I on that panel?
I believe so.
Oh, good.
I hope so.
Alison Lurs, unrelated to.
Yeah, not
Lur.
actually a Lursman.
Yeah. And at 10 p.m. on the Sunday night is the Improv Initiative back again, which is myself, Beej, and Ian, Dan Emmons, formerly WotC of Blizzard, Greg Stackhouse from Uber, and new member Scott DeWitt from Extra Credits.
Nice.
And
I'm also on a panel with Corey and Molly, and I can't remember what it is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not being very helpful. We're going to put up a blog post explaining all of that probably later today.
Also,
You're going to be talking about something that you're an expert in.
On Monday at 12:30, James and I are going to be doing a meet and greet at the Twitch booth, like an official Twitch meet and greet, finally, at the Twitch booth.
A couple of people asking, yeah, there's a lot of, that's not everybody who we know that's going. There's going to be a lot of like Lur adjacent people who are going to be going that are our friends that you can see there too. But those are those are the people who you will be able to see at the Loading Ready Run booth. Those are the people who are going to be scheduling that kind of thing, right? So if you're like, I desperately need, Beej's autograph, this is when we will be tracking him.
Do we know?
9 p.m. at the Wyvern on Sunday, says Molly.
Yes, hi Molly. Sorry, I don't have the information handy. I didn't want to lie.
Do we know what panels, if any, will be streamed?
The improv one apparently will be, I'm told.
There's going to be, I'm putting up a blog post about this later today. Like, that's what I'm doing after this. But I know people had questions about it, so I wanted to make sure I got out ahead of that.
Unfortunately, because of how, just how busy PAX is and how their internet works and stuff, not all the panels are going to be streamed.
Yeah.
I believe I was talking to Alex about it, and I think what we're going to do during the Loading Ready Run panel, which is not going to be streamed, I think Alex and I are going to do a stream here to do our own like little mini panel, sort of Q&A
that should be
stuff.
Good.
So we'll try to do that, and keep an eye on the schedule. We'll try to do some sort of bonusy type streams in over the sort of weekend and more that the crew is away.
And for those of you who are backers of the Desert Bus documentary Kickstarter, don't forget that tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. is the online backers only premiere. For anyone who isn't a backer, sorry, we're going to try to secure some sort of distribution for the thing so that you can all see it very soon. Check your, if you are a backer and weren't aware of that, check your email. And you'll want to keep an eye out on your email probably later today as well for a link on where to find that. So.
Oh, also people have a lot of questions about like other stuff to do with that campaign. You will be doing another survey to get people's addresses and stuff because it's been a while. So we want to make sure everybody's up to date.
Yeah.
So look for that as well. But right now, you can appreciate that there is a backers only premiere tomorrow. We just hit a very big Patreon goal, so thank you to everybody because we love you. Yeah, we just hit.
We got back up to the 12.
Oh, right, to the ad-free, right? Because we hit that like a month or two ago, and stopped runing ads on the channel.
But that was due to like one giant Patreon, whereas
then we haven't been running ads since then, just because.
We started running ads again.
Okay, good. Well, no more.
When we drop back.
Thank you.
No more ads.
If one. We can't like just hard turn them off. Like if one plays when you come to the channel, we We actually can't control that. But
the commercial breaks we will not run.
We will not choose to run ads. People still got to take breaks and pee. But Vucrulis, as I've said on the Kickstarter update, we're gonna look into doing a encore backers only stream that is better timed for UK and European viewers, but we won't be able to do that until after PAX.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. And just for the record, for anyone who is from the UK or Europe or elsewhere where it's the thing that we are doing is a bad time to watch it, I know, and I'm sorry. Please know that I don't take joy out of scheduling things like that, and like
it has to be at a time.
Yeah.
And that was a time.
So, you know,
obviously it can't work for everybody. I
could do without the messages as if I have taken some sort of perverse pleasure in wronging you personally.
Yeah.
Thanks. So
we're definitely we're trying because it's like we're gonna do a live Q&A, which really sort of limits the time that people can be there for it.
Not you, Vucrulis, by the way, to be clear.
Yeah. So we're gonna try and do something like that, like because we love you, we want everybody to be happy, but unfortunately, like time zones are a bitch. So yeah.
I blame Sanford Fleming. If it wasn't for him, everything would happen all at the same time.
Yeah. Standard time zones. Thanks, Seth J. Harris. So we run 2 premiums. That's what I'm saying. But we can't do the second one until we won't have time to do the second one until after PAX. I'm sorry about that. So. All right. Everyone moved to Victoria today. Problem solved.
I think that's about it. I just want to say, hey everybody who's in Texas right now.
Yeah.
And I hope you're
Stay
doing
safe.
okay.
Yeah.
I suppose there's a good chance you can't see this for a variety of reasons, but
yeah.
If anybody has any friends or family in Texas and stuff,
Exhausted Elox has
please
posted a link to a Vox article on people raising money for Hurricane Harvey. So
there's a lot of
check that out.
There's a lot of good
for
charities
the victims of Hurricane Harvey.
The hurricane doesn't need any more
people
help.
affected by Hurricane Harvey. No, the
hurricane's doing just fine.
The hurricane's got it's got a really aggressive GoFundMe setup, and
it's got an aggressive Go Rain Me setup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Man, people, those Indiegogo campaigns, you can't trust them, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Texas is huge.
Yes.
But
so
about what was the article? A quarter of the population has been in some way affected. Obviously, some people way more, like people in Houston, for example. But you know.
Yeah, Mars is Dead says, sounding out from Southeast Houston. Thanks for the stream. I really needed it today.
Hey,
so I hope everything is working out for you and things are okay. Not every part of Houston is underwater, but many parts of it are flooded, and apparently it's just a huge deal, and it's going to be hugely disruptive to everybody who lives there.
Mecca Kuga says, I am sitting in the middle of the storm and I'm watching LRR. Well, hey, how's it going? And is wondering if the Ixalan pre-release is confirmed. Yes.
Yes.
It is confirmed.
For September 16th?
Yeah.
Is that the date?
It's the Saturday? Have we announced that?
I don't know if we have.
I guess we announced it.
I guess we just did.
I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about when's the pre-release, when's AFK coming back, what about Desert Bus, all of these things. All of these things that we would normally be working on and like happily planning got completely derailed for basically half of June, all of July, and all of August. So we are working really, like, things are still happening, things are still going ahead, but like everybody has been all hands on deck, like getting the place packed and then unpacked and then the downtime for that and then the move has just been, it was like we could not have done it without the incredible support all you guys gave us with the it was so wonderful and helpful.
As a blanket statement, we love that you're excited about all the things that we do. It means a huge amount to us that you love what we do, and we thank you for that. We will tell you. Whatever your question is, we will tell you. So please don't we're just getting a deluge, like a little bit in chat right now, but overall we're just getting a deluge of like, what about this thing? What about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? You know, and it's just like, we will We'll get you the information.
Yeah.
As best as we can, we promise.
And a lot of
you
it,
just got to give us a little time.
a lot of it is the answer is that we don't know.
Yeah.
We have plans for what we hope we can do, but there are some aspects of it that are a little up in the air, just in terms of we are, we're setting some stuff up that we've never done before. So
like video
have
streams,
to see how hard it is to work.
Thank goodness, video streams are basically the schedule continues as you know it,
Yeah.
right? Like that room is good, and
It was the first room we set up.
Yeah, we have
Schedule,
we have a plan for when we hope the first AFK stream will be, but we don't want to put it on the schedule yet because what if we're not ready, right? So it's like it's tough.
Streams
We'll get you the
continue
information.
as normal, except for PAX, in which case they won't be.
Just the 1-2 punch of having to move and then getting just enough time to mostly set up the office and then having to go to PAX has been hard. So, and there's just a bunch of stuff that we'd normally be doing and working out at this time of year that just we haven't had time to do. So
Yes, Desert Bus will be in November. Yes.
yes.
I'm pretty sure that that we'll have dates for that by this weekend, because this weekend is PAX, and I think
So we're
should-
doing an announcement.
I think we'll be doing an announcement there.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
I mean, people who aren't us are already hard at work on Desert Bus stuff. We have
Thank you, John Locke Cole.
we have some new prize people who are doing their jobs wonderfully independent of us, right? Like the craft along, it's changing and stuff like that because there's new people in charge of it.
Yep.
And but those things are going ahead. Desert Bus is happening. We're just really sorry that we haven't been able to work on it as the time of year we'd normally be ramping up for it because we're doing this.
Yep. Panicked Fox. I mean, it's a hell of a meme, but we are still doing Friday nights. We were supposed to be doing Friday nights every month this year between March and December, but I spoke with Blake at Wizards, and I'm like, I don't think we can give you one for August. I don't think we don't even know if we'll have a space to shoot.
Yeah,
this is before we even found this place. I was like, we don't even know if we're going to have a moon base.
Yeah,
we won't have time, but more importantly, there's no place.
Yeah, for a while we were like, if we can't get an office, where do we set up an editing station? Who's volunteering their living room? Like, those were conversations that we were having in July.
There was a briefly tabled contingency plan to broadcast AFK from literally our apartment. When we were like, okay, what do we do if we have to...
If we don't have a place.
If we just have to throw everything into storage for a month and a half.
Yeah, what do we do? We're like, well, we could do it at this place. Yeah.
And yeah, as the last bit of PAX stuff, for the streams, the...
Thursday through Tuesday, the streaming schedule is...
Yeah, well, 18 games and counting. I'll be doing that as normal.
Yeah.
I'll be by myself, but I'll be doing it as normal. After that, things get a little complicated.
Yeah.
Or less complicated, I guess, because there isn't anything.
I'm sure that Paul and or Alex will have a stream or two to show you over the course of those days.
Yeah.
So, okay. We're going to take off.
No, we're going to welcome our subs.
All right, we're going to welcome our subs, and then we're going to take off and get some food, and I'm going to get CheckPoint online for you, and we've got a tap and seed to go up.
And we'll look...
we'll start blog posts.
Yeah, I'm going to do a blog post about everything that's happening at PAX. I won't have the who's going to be at the booth when schedule, because I'm going to work that out in our Slack channel after that, make some suggestions and stuff like that. But, so go to the Loading Ready Run blog. We should also maybe do a little mini YouTube update just about that and put it up maybe right before we leave. Like, work on that.
About
us at PAX.
Yes, yes, we should.
So you don't have to go to our blog and read it. We'll also put it up. I'll also just send it out to the Patreon as well, so there'll be multiple channels in which to appreciate this.
Seems like a reasonable idea.
So that will be happening later today, and yeah, we'll try to get something. Busy day. It's been really busy, and yeah, just a lot of stuff where it's like we had like a system worked out, and then the system fell apart because like the days that we normally did things just did not work.
Okay, let me just make
Where's
sure.
the Loading Ready Run blog? It is on www.loadingreadyrun.com. It is like you can see.
We'll also, yeah, and we'll also tweet about it and stuff. So make sure you get that. All right, let me just see. I want to make sure we don't miss anybody who subbed before we actually started because we were a little late starting. Alrighty. Sorry. This part is not due to. I can't blame the new moon base for this part. This is just how it is.
Yeah. Will there be a G-Vlog for PAX? Yup. I don't know that I'll be able to do it daily, like daily on the day, like I was doing at
Vegas.
Yeah, at GP Vegas. But this might be. It might end up more like the one I did for PAX South, which was sort of the whole weekend in like a half-hour kind of thing. Don't know yet. We'll find out together.
Argentum Flare. I believe somebody else owns LRR.com. This is one of them three-letter URLs, and we cannot afford it because it's.
Don't go there also because anyone who goes there just gives traffic, which makes them think it's worth more.
Yeah.
We have LRR.cc.
We do. We do.
Anyway, let's welcome some people. Starting with Togashi Naruta for 44 months, where Americans get their news. Then probably should forget it as you get reputable news from somewhere. More power to you.
Nice.
Featuring me for 15 months says, time to celebrate the return of Top Spin Chuckle. Welcome back.
Mad Commander Mo with a 30-month resub. Points, check.
I don't get Top Spin Chuckle.
Lord Crusher for 23 months. Just bought PUBG, so one more month to 2 years.
Nice, nice.
Foxmar320 for 44 months says, is it September 6th yet? Asking for a friend.
Oh, remind me to talk about that afterwards. Lord Durin with a 44-month resub. Resub for the new Moonbase and new Checkpoint. Thank
Yay.
you.
Basil Hunter for 9 months. Oh, the water broke. Sub baby, gotta go with Harvey.
Rikes for 32 months says, wow.
GSC Europe with a 3-month resub. Looking forward to seeing a run-through of the new Moonbase. It's going to be great.
Speed run. Carvsma778 for 5 months. Checking points for the 5th month in a row.
Subscriber time.
As I quest to sub. Sorry, something.
Mad About Video Games for 8 months says, I'm watching Checkpoint with my cat, so the sub is from Chibi. Please tell him he is a good boy. You're a good boy, Chibi.
The Cake of Lies with a 7-month resub. I hope that everyone's doing well and the move is going according to plan. Heart. It's going all right. Thank you.
John Dar for 43 months. Man, it was so much easier to find jokes last month. Oh well. 56 months, the next low-hanging fruit.
Prienheimer has subscribed for 13 months in a row.
Lacking Sanity, also with 34 months, says so fancy and new.
Dostro_ for 46 months.
Phoenix Melior for 40 months says, missed my birthday resub while on vacation last week, but now I get to sub with this fancy new set. Yay!
Yay!
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Wazelda with a 44-month resub. Speaking of 44, any concrete Magnum plans? Concrete? No.
Plans,
Plans,
yes.
hopefully.
Achillian for 2 months. New set hype. I love you guys and what you do. Enjoying my free Amazon Prime sub.
Yeah, Gallium71 for 38 months. Thanks, Gallium.
The Ox with a 23-month resub. Oh, hey, my sub re-went.
Yay. The Unknown Veg for 2 months. Thank you for providing great content. You guys continue with all the awesome streams. We will.
Code Gorilla for 18 months says, another point on my quest to resub to every stream. Check. Good job.
Tryon with a 9-month resub. So, baby. So should I send the alimony papers to the P.O. box, or you can give me James's address?
Oh, we'll give you James's address.
Hashtag blame James. Erica229 for 44 months. Whoa, dang, 44 months.
UDW Storm says, nothing for 11 months. Sorry.
And Squoo with a 2-month resub. Pronounced Ansk. Just pretend the Q is a K. Don't worry, most people can't figure it out. All right. Thank you.
Mega Flycraft for 2 months. Bananas, pajamas, and panoramas.
Nathan Longhair for 23 months says, no sarcasm, light/fan/aircon teething issues is great content. I'm loving this.
Xbando with a 48-month resub. New set looks very nice.
Thank you.
Cat Card for 28 months. Poppin'.
Woo!
Pop, pop.
Eldrin 13 for 35 months says, wow, almost 3 years. Where did my youth go? Away.
Bearded Canuck with a 16-month resub. Welcome back.
Sarah Mendoliori. Maydaldo.
Modrin for 11 months.
Welcome back, Sarah Mayalori. Pterodactyl, a new subscriber. Welcome back.
Forever Backwards for 7 months. Today is my resub day. Friday is my birthday. It's a great week.
Good job.
Kane
Alexius for 36 months says, happy to sub again. Life decided it needed to continue to try and keep me down, but working on fighting back. Thank you all for providing me hilarious content to keep my unusually low spirits high. Here's to another, wow, 36 months, 3-year hype. Thank you, Kane Alexius.
Golden Loki, a new subscriber. Welcome to the channel, and thank you. Thymeto
for 2 months. Thank you.
Chrono 2X for 35 months says, should probably announce this before PAX messes up the streaming schedule.
The Games Blog, an 11-month reset. New Moonbase, new checkpoint. Hooray! Welcome.
Verdaguda Tiger it's a new subscriber. Welcome.
And Canon Kamen is a new subscriber.
Dread Pirate Wesley with a 2-month resub. First month sub, Moonbase Delta. Second month sub, Moonbase Mark V. Third month sub, probably Moonbase Mark V.
Oh, God.
Yes, we're not moving again.
Fryadent for 6 months. You call a new base Moonbase Echo. Does that mean you have named it Moonbase Moonbase? Can we abbreviate it to Moonbase?
Ray FK for 37 months says, holy crap, a real set and everything.
Litha with a 32-month resub. Welcome back, Litha. Thank you so much.
I was waiting for Graham to...
Mirnus, 44 months.
There we are. Forest Gaze for 11 months. Woo, new base.
Raven with a 41-month resub. Did I get it under the wire? Lure hype.
You did.
You did.
Wolfen Dragoon for 3 months. Does this count? Yes, it does.
It does.
Malchior for 10 months. Thank you.
Muggsy with a 10-month resub. Welcome back, Muggsy.
Cosman 20A for 12 months. Before I forget again, congrats on the new set.
Thanks.
1 year. Yeah, nice.
Anti-Crepuscular for 3 months says, if we keep subbing, will the stream go on forever?
Yes.
I mean, technically.
I guess, yeah. Ember Becky with a 43-month resub. Thanks for everything all. See you at PAX.
See you at PAX.
See you there. And thanks for 1,625 bits from Anarin, Frisky Man Live, Duke Dice, W. Nivek, Kazman 20, Azen Insect, and Foxmar 320.
Yay!
Thank you. And speaking of Foxmar, and Dandy Geek was in the chat as well.
Oh, yes.
September 6th, Destiny 2 release day.
I believe you've just evacuated all other streams from the streaming office.
Yeah, so...
You've done the equivalent of just breaking down over with your foot and screaming, make way for Destiny!
Make way for Destiny. 9 o'clock was going to be up in the air that day anyway, because it was the day after we all traveled back from PAX. We don't know the CTS situation, and Alex will presumably be streaming something prior to that. So yes, that Wednesday, it's going to be New Day Wednesday, and I'm going to be, we're going to be streaming Destiny 2 all day long. So don't know exactly when it's going to start. We'll put it on the schedule, but it's going to be a lot of Destiny 2, and I'm really excited about it.
Hopefully you won't like beat it.
No.
That seems there's like
apparently there's just so much content.
80 story missions. Somebody said. I think that's not likely for me to be able to beat it in the one day.
I mean, if you're casual, maybe.
Fair.
Speedrun it.
Fair enough. All streams make way for Destiny.
It is our destiny.
Yeah. So, all right. That is going to do it for the stream today. Thank you so much for joining us.
You should play Destiny 1 just to mess with people.
That would mess with a lot of things, such as people's interest in watching it. But
it would probably mess with your interest in playing it, honestly.
Considering, yeah. Anyway, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Tonight, Matters of Import. Ian and Beej are playing. What the hell did they say they're playing? Why didn't I look this up before I started that sentence?
It was a bold thought.
It was such a good plan.
A noble plan.
I mean, it wasn't a good plan, clearly.
No. They're playing Golgo 13 NES games.
Oh, Golgo 13.
Are they playing 13 different NES games?
No, Golgo 13 is like a hard-boiled detective character.
Oh.
Yeah. So, like, these are presumably like punch-em-up kind of games, I would guess, if they're NES games.
Neat.
Alrighty. So that's going on Matters of Import. Again.
Playing something Weeby? No.
Which,
Them?
in case it's obvious, Tinker Tailor Solder Fry is obviously requires a little bit more setup in terms of studio space.
Anything that doesn't broadcast from a console or a PC is going to be a little while before it comes back.
I'm sorry, Golgo 13 is an assassin.
But Tinker Tailor is going to be obviously coming back very soon because part of the plan is to make some things that we need on Tinker Tailor.
Yeah.
So that should happen soon.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.